Hello and welcome to It's Your Business with Mario Toneguzzi on Megapix Media. Joining me today is Geoff Leverton, who is National Leader, Canadian Capital Markets and Accounting Advisory Services Practice for PwC Canada. Thanks for joining us today, Geoff.
Thanks, Mario. Nice to be here.
Okay, you guys put out some data on the IPO market in 2020. For 2020, we're looking at $5 billion plus in activity. Give me a sense, Geoff, of that number. Is it on a historical basis? Is it a good number, a bad number?
It's a fantastic number, actually. It was a kind of a banner year in terms of IPO and IPO proceeds from a Canadian point of view. The year before would have been just south of $1 billion, so 5 times what it had been, and probably the biggest year in the last 10 from a Canadian point of view in terms of IPOs.
Let's take a look at the whys there. Like, why did we have such a banner year?
Yeah, when you think about actually the dollar value, I mean, there were some really big offerings in the year that contributed to that. If you think of, the GFLs of the world and the Nuves and the, some others that really contribute to the number, but really robust capital markets, right? Surprisingly so, I think there was a lot of uncertainty around COVID, and then the capital markets just generally held up really well, and the reception for IPOs was very strong.
Now, I look at the Q4. Q4 was 1.3 billion. Was that an indication of the fact that the market held up okay throughout the pandemic, that we were kind of moving on after that?
Yeah, it's surprising. I mean, I think there's a real good appetite for new equity issues at the moment. People are very active, and I would expect that we'll continue to see that continue into 2021 as well, provided the market stay strong. There is I think a real pipeline and a backlog of companies waiting to access the capital markets.
Okay. Any particular industries that fared well, I guess, in 2020?
Yeah, I think tech, obviously, some really strong tech offerings in the year. Life sciences, biotech as well. You'd see GFL, being waste management. So really a broad spectrum of industries, but on the whole, I think the tech issues and the life sciences did really well.
Okay, and you touched a little bit on this, but let's take a look at 2021.
Sure.
What can we expect in the market and why?
Well, I think, to the extent that the capital markets stay strong, and all indications at the moment are that they are, and obviously there's lots of money available right now in terms of government funding, and so people will continue to look at what happened in 2020 and look at their opportunities. If the corporates, what are my opportunities to access the capital markets, to go public, given the reception that they had in 2020. And certainly COVID wasn't a gating item. If you think of an IPO as being it's a high touch process, road shows, flights, meetings, participation in sessions with lawyers, accountants, and bankers and everyone else. All that can be done in COVID. And so there's no reason that it can't continue to go into 2021 as well.
Yeah. One last question, Geoff. When you look at investors today, what are they looking for? Like, what are the key factors that drive an investor to invest their money into companies?
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak broadly for the investor population. I think, the robustness and the strength that everyone saw in the capital market. I mean, the highs that we've seen in terms of the stock market are driving people into the market, I think. But people also are thinking about safety as well, I think, a little bit, right? Like, it's not a binary situation where there's some concern maybe of a bubble. I think people would be worried about that, and with the current kind of economic environment that we're in, stability and dividends and cash flows are important. But also, when people look at the IPOs, they look at the potential for capital appreciation as well.
Okay, super. Well, thanks for joining us today, Geoff.
Yeah, thank you, Mario.
Okay, that was Leverton, who is National Leader, Canadian Capital Markets and Accounting Advisory Services Practice for PwC Canada. This has been It's Your Business with Mario Toneguzzi on Megapix Media. Thanks for joining us today.